Hi everybody, it's Paige Leslie coming at you for the first time from my speech room at my school, and welcome back. Today I'm going to show you how to use the strategies that I use to support your student as they learn their sight words and as they learn their spelling words as well. So I usually don't go over sight words and spelling words in my room, but I do use a strategy to bring together phonology and orthography. So phonology is the area of language where we use different sounds to come together to make meaning. And orthography would be exactly that, but with writing, with letters. How do letters come together in written form to make meaning for us? So this is something that I use a lot, even with my kids with speech sound difficulties, because a lot of my kids with speech sound difficulties have something called a phonological disorder, and phonology is part of our language system. So these kids often have a hard time spelling and remembering their sight words. So I'm going to show you my strategy, which is very, 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 very simple. And even though it is simple, it works because it's very direct. It's very explicit, showing kiddos, pointing out directly the different patterns. So kiddos that are typically developing and typically develop their language may have an easier time after a few times encountering a word in class. They might learn it and they might see patterns, even if they're not being directly taught those patterns. But with our kiddos with language and speech difficulties, they need to see what those patterns are. They need those patterns pointed out to them in order for them to learn, and they need a little bit of extra time. So let's get into it. I'm going to start with sight words. So I'm going to start with a very, very easy sight word. And it's easy. I call it easy because there is a one-to-one link with letter and sound. So how I would present it to my kiddos is I would just do 3 lines because we have 3 sounds. So each line means that there is one sound there. And in this word, there happens to also be 1 letter for each line. So the first thing I would do is present them with a letter and ask them if they know what sound the letter makes. So it's H, it's I usually will give them the vowel because, fun fact, there's like 13 different vowel sounds in English, but only 5 vowel letters in English. So it gets a little complicated. I usually just give them the vowel ah, and then I give them the next one, and if they have good letter sound recognition, they should be able to give me that. So the D, D. If they give me B or something else, I'll just kind of give them a visual representation like, oh no, that's B. But this one up here, that's a D. So what sound does a D make? They can usually follow up with that. And then I have them repeat after me. Once we've done all of them one by one, I'll have them go, ah, D. A lot of times my kiddos also have a hard time with blending. So they usually won't be able to tell me the word exactly after that one once through. So I will do one of these and kind of blend it. So I'll go had. Now about 50 to 60% of my kids will get it. Usually I have to blend all of the sounds together. Had. And that's just the first time that they're introduced. And a lot of my kids, because we're at the beginning of the year, they're doing this strategy for the first time. So over time, as we do the strategy more, they'll be able to blend a little better. Everything will become a little bit easier with practice. All right, so now for a less than easy word. So like I said, each line represents one speech sound, but not necessarily one letter. We can do letter combos. We can do letter combos with these. So for this word, I have 5 letters and 3 sounds. So I have this letter combo, WH. And so what I was saying with the direct instruction is you're going to explain to the kiddo, in this letter combo, we're not going to worry about the H. It's just this sound that we're worried about. And that's W, right? And then I usually, again, give them the vowel. I'm going to say I, like something's icky, I, I. And then the CH. That makes a letter combo. C and H come together and make ch, W, I, ch. If you didn't get it that time, we're going to blend this together. Wi, ch. And if not that time, we're going to blend this together. Which. And then I try and use it in a sentence because that could either mean the chick that's on the broom or like, which one do you like? Chocolate or pizza? Kind of go into the meaning with that as well. So usually when we talk about sight words, a lot of times people will talk about how there's not that one-to-one letter to speech sound correspondence, so you can't decode them. You can decode them. There are just maybe some more complicated patterns. So for a word like people or through, it may be a little bit more complicated, especially in a word like through. So we've got 3 speech sounds, but we've got O-U-G-H coming in with the oo. So usually for a word like this that has something complicated like that, I will kind of commiserate with the kids and be like, yeah, no, I know this is a lot right here. That's okay. O-U-G-H can say a bunch of different things like ooh, oh, and uff, but it's all right. We got it. Like, I understand when they came up with the spelling for this word, they didn't ask me. So I kind of make it a little humorous and let them know that it's difficult, because a lot of times our kiddos can see that things are more difficult for them than for other kids, but kind of letting them know that, yeah, that's a tough one right there, but it's ooh. Yep. And kind of letting them know. But like I said, using this like direct, these direct strategies helps our kids, even though it's very simple. All right, so now for spelling words. Oh, my eraser, my eraser is, that one's bit the dust now. For spelling words, we're going to use that strategy, and then we're going to add more steps to it. So one spelling word that I saw was school. So we're going to want to make sure that they can read the spelling word, right? That's our receptive. They're receiving that word. We want to make sure that they can actually receive that word before we jump into spelling it. So I would just present the word and see if they can read it. If they can't, then just use that strategy. Ooh, ooh. And then this works with sight words too, kind of using more visuals as clues as you're pointing things out. So with this word, I might point out, like if I have a student that is dropping their S's on S blends, I would probably point out that their sound buddy is in this word. So if they say cool instead of school, I would point out, hey, there's your sound buddy is right here. So using that kind of brings a little bit more awareness to kind of help them with their speech goals, but then also they might remember that as they're taking their spelling test. And even though they're sounding it out and saying cool, they'll remember, or they might remember, that it has their sound buddy. So even though they're pronouncing it without the S, they might remember that they need to put their S in there. Maybe. That takes a lot of awareness and practice. But so I might say, hey, there's your sound buddy. And then also that CH, instead of saying the ch, says the k sound. And then to remember the double O, I might draw them like their eyes looking at something. Like this little guy is looking at something and he really likes it, so he says, ooh, school. And then my next step is to see how are they spelling it already. So my kids, many kids, may spell it like school. And instead of putting a blank spot for each letter, I would put a blank spot for each sound. And also give them some of that support. So you might do a practice test and give them everything except for that CH. And say, okay, so it sounds like K, but remember there's a letter combo here. It's not the K. We want to make the K sound, but it's not K. CH, cool, school. There we go. And then the next time we might give them everything except for that CH and that ooh. And put that K and the little eyeballs. You want to draw the eyes, right? And yeah, so this is called scaffolding. This is the fancy term, is giving them support and then kind of taking those supports away. So then maybe the next time you'll present it without all of the visual supports and just the blanks. Maybe. Until they can do as much as they can by themselves. Another one. Let's do one last one. Oh my gosh, I'm out of time. YouTube is going to cut me off. So many children. So in a word like drove, I'll probably put the D and the R together, just because. And then in my instruction, I'll have the E, and I'll talk to them about the rule that when there's a silent E at the end, this letter says its name. So what's the name of that? O. Okay, great. So it's going to make the O sound. And then that E is silent, so that's a V. It says a V. Awesome. Dr-o-v. And kind of do the same thing that we did with school, is see how they spell it, see how can we support how they're spelling it. We might do like the O and the E in different colors to kind of highlight that they're related, right? The E is affecting the O. Things like that. Okay, I hope that was super clear and super helpful. Please let me know if there's anything that I can do to help you guys use this strategy. If you need more examples, some one-on-one help, I would love to schedule a Zoom call. And otherwise, I will see you guys next time in the speech room. Bye-bye.